My name is Zarna, and I'm doing this video because we need to talk.
You want to talk? So let's talk how much of a hypocrite you are. Sorry for stuttering, folks. I have a little problem. So, this Indonesian woman would never admit that her culture is all about patriarchy. Her mythology, the Ramanya, is all about patriarchy and how women should always be faithful to their husbands no matter what, even when their husbands kick them to the curb. You don't believe me? Just watch.
It's become clear to me that a great deal of us suffer from the illness of patriarchy.
Our society is not a patriarchal society. This is all coming from a feminazi's mouth. For starters, a feminazi can say, rape, 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 and everyone believes that feminazi. Who's oppressing who? When a real rape victim comes forward, no one believes her because people like this woman, Zarna, she's ruining it for the real rape victims. This isn't a patriarchal society. The Western world is not a patriarchal society. Women can do whatever they flippin' want. Heck, feminazis are making sure of that. Although, when feminists are given the choice that they can do whatever they want, they don't take it. Let's say the military gives them the option to join the military. They give them free healthcare, free education. Do they take it? No, they want someone else to pay for that. And they want to sit on their ass and do nothing. That's not helping our case. That's anyone's case. Any of us females' cases. That's making us look like entitled, selfish little brats. Well, this woman named Zarna Joshi, she looks like the most entitled, selfish brat ever to come to the United States. Or was she born here? I have no idea. That thing in between her eyebrows suggests that she's from India. She doesn't act like it. She acts like an entitled, well, I already used the word, but what else can I use? Because that's what most of these liberals are. Entitled, narcissistic, conceited, intolerant brats. I can't use any other vulgar words because this is the internet. Now I'm going off on a tangent. Here I'm going to show you a few clips from Sita Sings the Blues. And it shows Rama and Sita worshipping Rama in the very ground he walks on. And sooner or later, Rama kicking Sita to the curb because she's kidnapped by a 10-headed demon. The 10-headed demon does nothing to Sita. He doesn't force himself on her or anything. And still, Rama rejects her.
But Rama, a woman's place is next to her husband. I will accept any hardship. I cannot live without you.
Dear brother Ravana, have you seen Rama's wife, Sita? She is the most beautiful woman in the world. Her skin is fair like the lotus blossom. Her eyes are like lotus boots. Her hands are like lotuses. Her breasts like big, round, firm, juicy lotuses. Make Sita your wife, Ravana. Stick
my wife.
Never. I love only Rama. I am the chaste and virtuous wife of another man. I belong to Rama as the rays belong to the sun. Give me back to Rama, or you shall soon hear his mighty bow that resounds like Indra's thunderbolt.
The more a man speaks sweetly to a woman, the more she insults him. You have 2 months to decide, lovely lady. Then...
You have lived in another man's house, so you are unfit to be my wife.
What?
I have done my duty in rescuing you from the enemy and avenging the insult to myself. I have terrible suspicions about your character and conduct. Ravana was aware of your beauty. He cannot have kept you in his house for so long without touching you. The very sight of you is painful. You are free to go wherever you want. I have no more use for you, Sita.
If I had known this, I would have killed myself before and spared you this war. Build me a funeral pyre. I cannot bear to live.
So the only way Sita can prove herself is by doing trials to show her purity. And later on, to prove that she truly is faithful to Rama, she asks Mother Earth to let her back into her womb. And that once and for all proves to Rama not only did he have a faithful wife, but he loses her. So Zarna dares calls us sexist when her culture literally revolves around bending over backwards for men, and if a woman is raped, the woman is useless forever. I mean, I've heard rumors where they're trying to get better at that. But now that she's in America, she is saying that we're horrible at that. And we're as bad as her country is. Or even worse than her country is. She dares. Then I say we send her back.
It's humongous.
Okay. He should have said, my first name is Hugh and my last name is Mungus. That way, he wouldn't have to deal with all this bullshit. Because obviously she can't put 2 and 2 together. I mean, that's not his real name. But at least he wouldn't have to deal with the most hysterical, narcissistic... Again, I can't say the B word. I can say brat, but I use that too many times. I guess I can say pathetic little imp in the world. She makes Indonesians look bad, to the point they have a low IQ, and they're supposed to be one of the highest. Really sad.
Okay. Humongous what? Humongous what?
Humongous.
Humongous.
Again, he told you, Hugh first, Mungus second. Obviously, you're too brain dead from all that feminist bullshit. Oops. Of course, feminists have such a small brain that they think they know everything. They can't put two and two together. Of course, why would he want to give you his name? You're just going to torture him and bully him on the internet.
What?
Humongous.
Humongous what?
Humongous.
After the 15th or 20th time, you think she would have quit. But nope, that's not how feminists work. With all this determination, you'd think they would gather donations and put it to good use. Maybe put it toward underprivileged girls and put them in schools. Or at least try to do some good in the world. But nope. They rather harass innocent men. Oh wait, that's right, he's not innocent. He's actually harassed her with words such as humongous. How dare he use a dad joke at his expense. Sorry, dude, no dad jokes allowed here.
Humongous what?
That's what it is.
Humongous what? Is that sexual harassment?
According to you, sexual harassment would have been him just looking at you in a distasteful way. Anything is sexual harassment in your definition. Heck, even with all the comments you get from girls saying that you were being a hysterical little, cunt? That's sexual harassment. Oh, I'm sorry for calling you a cunt. That's right, you sewed yours up. I'd be surprised if she even has a boyfriend or husband after this. If she cries sexual harassment just because of some guy making a bad joke, no guy would want to be near her or even say hi to her. She'll cry sexual harassment.
Gone up in Seattle, and they're right. Crime has gone up. The crimes of racist thug cops have gone up.
So you're only talking about white cops? Because there are cops that are black, there are cops that are Mexican, there are cops that are Indian. Are you talking about them? Because I think there are other cops besides white.
Their crimes against women have gone up.
And what exactly did they do to these women? Did they rape them? That's a problem. Did they not bow before you and arrest that horrible, humongous? Then, how dare they? They should be condemned to hell. Oh, please. You are such a horrible person. You should be the one condemned to hell. Without policemen, you wouldn't have, well, number one, your valuables in your house. You wouldn't have security. And you wouldn't be safe to walk out the front door.
Their crimes against people of color have gone up.
If people of color are getting tired of getting shot by policemen, maybe they should stop committing crimes and burning their cities. If they did, they wouldn't get shot in the first place. How about that? But you liberals, feminists, social justice warriors have to use at least a small percentage of your brain to figure that out. And we all know how that turns out.
And the crimes of racist, token, people of color politicians have gone up.
So racist people of color politicians. I thought whites were the only ones who can be racist. I'm so confused. So when a politician who's a person of color doesn't agree with a liberal stance, they're racist. Okay, so racist means nothing. That's the whole point I was trying to get at with some of my liberal friends, but they call me racist anyways. Go figure.
Yeah, we noticed, Lorena Gonzalez. We noticed. We noticed how, after I spoke publicly against you, the cops sent racist, white supremacist rapists after me.
That's horrible. They raped you. Do you have any proof they did? I'm sorry I'm so sexist I have to verify it. But since you're a feminist and all, I don't trust your word. And who would? I mean, you don't have a baby bump or anything.
On BlueLivesMatter.com, we saw that, we noticed, and we all know how in cahoots with the cops you are. We know, we noticed how in cahoots Deborah Juarez is with the cops, who's so disgusting and such a token that she won't even...
Oh, that's what you meant by sent after. They didn't rape you, so how do you know they're rapists, for starters? And going after you on a website, so how do you know they're white? That's the only way they can be white supremacists, after all. And what do you mean in cahoots? Are they having sex with each other? And how would you know that? Are you stalking them? You are the most pathetic person ever, if you have very little to do with your life.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch her! This is public comment! It is my right to speak.
You do have a right to speak, but only when you act accordingly and appropriately. Unfortunately, you are acting so rude and nasty to everyone. They have no other choice but to ask you to leave, and since you're not doing so, they have to forcefully remove you from the courtroom because you're acting so inappropriately. Now, it's not patriarchal to ask a woman to behave accordingly. It's just consideration of everyone around you. How dare society ask a woman to behave herself? Is that so wrong?
I will speak. That is her right to say. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. America.
You're right, this is America. And in America, you have the right to free speech, but not the right to be a danger to yourself and those around you. And Zarna is not showing us that she can control herself in this professional environment. She also can't show us that she can professionally get her point of view across without sounding condescending and nasty at the same time.
This is America. 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 She has the right to speak. Men of color are used to try to intimidate women of color. That's right. That's the stuff we've been talking about. We've been dealing with this. Her saying what she has to say is...
The only thing I have to say here is, what is with you and the tiara, ma'am? Is that supposed to be a fashion statement? I'm going into fashion sooner or later. And are you trying to act like a princess? Because you clearly are not. Princesses don't act like that. And you're not a little girl. You're not behaving like you're cute and innocent. And that tiara looks so fake.
On a crime, we see it. Everyone's seen it. We've seen it. We are definitely seeing it. And don't worry, we will continue to watch. Don't touch me. Make her go out for what? Baby, she ain't doing nothing. She doing just like Rosa Parks and all the rest of them did. Harriet Tubman.
Gee, thanks for putting those famous people through the mud. Rosa Parks stood up by sitting down for black rights. Her actions caused an uproar as blacks stopped using segregated city buses. By her getting arrested, she sparked a chain reaction that led to racial discrimination to being destroyed in schools and public places. It wasn't until 2008 to 2016 administration that had said all Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and Harriet Tubman's legacy to be eradicated. 8 years to destroy all that real progress. Really? You considered this crybaby to be part of that legacy? Give me a break.